You found yourself on another episode of Locked on Bulls. In today's episode, we're going to ask the question, will Vooch leave the Chicago Bulls for nothing? And how do they react if they do? We're also going to talk about the trade rumors surrounding Jalen Green and the Chicago Bulls. And Joakim Noah has found another way to give back to the city of Chicago. We'll get into all that and more on today's Locked on Bulls.
You are Locked on Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked on Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked on Bulls, member of the Locked on Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. That's Pat the Designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze and host of the Chicago Bears podcast at ESPN 1000. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages. Pat, man, one of the biggest questions surrounding the Chicago Bulls this offseason is what's going to happen with Nikola Vucevic. We talked some about Kobe White already, but Vuce is definitely a major pin in whatever the Bulls do this offseason, because if he does lose for nothing, it really does change, I think, what they attack will be in the offseason. But, Pat, how you feeling about the potential of Vuce leaving the Chicago Bulls for nothing, and then what do they do if he does leave?
I think it's a serious thing to be concerned about, right? Like, listen, I know there's a lot of people out there that are done with Vooch, want to move away from Vooch. He's not the big man or rim protector of our future, right? Like, we didn't bring him here to be that. We brought him here to be, he's really good at being a facilitating big man that is really good back to the basket, scoring, really good down low, post score, really, you know what I mean? Like, the things that we wanted him to be, he's been that here in Chicago, at least to me, right? Like, I think I've been pretty realistic about what Vooch's game was from Orlando to here, especially becoming your third option. I think that if you lose Vooch, you're losing a piece that's going to be really, really difficult to replace. There's not a lot of big men that have the ability that Vooch does in the NBA right now. Now, listen, if you go out and get a Jakob Poeltl, I feel a lot better about Vooch walking away. But I think the reality of Vooch walking away for nothing is it could be high in a situation now. I know he wants to be here, just bought the crib here, right? But I think that there could be a serious situation that the Bulls are in, because realistically, there's a lot of teams that are probably willing to pay good money for Vooch to be a part of their team and give him a bigger role. So I think that you got to take that into account as well. Again, he's our third option here offensively, which is an offensive center, right? Like he's going to try and be, I could see him going someplace where he gets more of an offensive role. And I think that there are a few teams that would offer Vooch that, to me, in my opinion. I think that Dallas is a team that shoots to the top of the list where, yeah, maybe he's the third option overall down there, but you know that they want that rebounding. They want that. Nah, I ain't gonna lie to you. That don't help you at all with defense, but I could see that being a situation for him. And as far as the Bulls navigating it, listen, I mean, if it does come to that, where Vooch just up and leaves for nothing, you got to figure out how to spend your money wisely. I would almost say that you have to then figure out, right, what is your most important issue right now? Is it the point guard position? Is it size? Do you go all in on playing the small ball lineups that Billy Donovan loves to play, and actually just get people that are more built to run that kind of lineup? Go get your point guard. Again, you'd have some money. That'd be the nice part about it, I guess, but
you really wouldn't. So if Vooch leaves outright, if you still re-sign Kobe White, you're still only looking at your mid-level exception primarily to use. Theoretically, if the Bulls don't re-sign any player, they can have up to, I believe it's $14 million in cap space. But if you re-sign Kobe White, and, well, I guess if you don't do anything else, maybe it opens up a little bit, but you're not really bringing in a center for the $4 million left in cap space at that point. You will have a mid-level exception that you can use. You can't combine that with anything else. And then your biannual exception as well. But that's what makes it the most difficult situation for the Bulls, because if he does leave, you're kind of still left with primarily the same assets as if you do re-sign him, and that's what makes it so difficult. It opens up another roster spot, but that's almost a detriment because you still then are having about the same amount of money with now more players that you need to fill that space up with, and that is a huge proposition that won't work out favorably for the Bulls, I don't think.
I think best situation if he does leave or does want to leave is if the Bulls can work out a sign and trade, because then at least you can get something back. But here's the thing: to me, it shouldn't have come to this. Right? Like there should have been no situation where I don't look at anything that happened with the Bulls team and say Vooch is the reason and we shouldn't bring him back.
Right? Agreed.
We shouldn't be here when it comes to this. Now, if you don't want to commit, $25 million to Vooch moving forward, all right, if that's what he's looking for. But I think that he was looking for just about, hey, pay me what I made, basically. I'm okay paying Vooch the $20 million to be a big man in the NBA moving forward. I think that Vooch is still worth that $20 million. And I think that there's a lot of teams out there that are going to give him that $20 million for him to go be a bigger part of their offense. How about we just utilize the player that we have the right way and get him more involved in the offense instead of just waiting until the fourth quarter to be like, all right, now let's try some back to the basket stuff, or starting off the first quarter with just him jacking up threes.
Yeah, well, that, or even the times where they do start off the game with actually going to him in the post, and then the dude touches the ball 3 times all the second half of the game. Like, it's so much that was mismanaged with Vooch, and part of it was, I think that the Bulls, looking into it, he came into the Bulls with his best 3-point shooting season. 40% from 3-point range on high volume. It's the only season that Vooch was a high volume, effective 3-point shooter. And I think they used that one season to then go out and get DeMar DeRozan and thought, oh, well, Vooch is going to be able to stretch the floor out. We're good. Not really looking at what he had been over his career, just kind of falling in love with that season. Now, he was an all-star coming here. I understand why we went and got Vooch. I think that was still the right move. Like you said, Vooch isn't the issue here. How he's utilized absolutely is. How you also put him in situations defensively to where he's not going to be in pick and roll defense. He's not going to be effective. But you built a team that just is going to constantly put him in that area without putting a player next to him that really helps cover up some of Vooch's issues. Now, to your point of the $18 million or $20 million that Vooch can offer, my biggest issue or concern, I would say, in this is that if the Bulls do try to lowball him, let's see that even there is another team that is also lowballing him. But guess what? Those teams are probably in better situations and better suited to utilize him. My biggest fear is that Vooch is going to leave for less money than the Bulls are offering, because he sees a team in which he can actually go and compete for some type of postseason success rather than scratch and claw to a play-in. And that is something that, as a player, I couldn't knock him. If Vooch left and took $15-16 million to go to a team that's much closer to being a contender, it would suck. But I wouldn't blame the player for that.
No, and a lot of times, right, like that's how it goes. Listen, it's not that I won't take $15 million, it's I won't take your $15 million. I don't want to be here anymore, right? I don't think that's the situation that Vooch is in. I really don't. I think that it's so weird to say, right? Because I think that this Bulls team actually enjoys each other's company. I think they actually like each other. Yeah. I think that they actually have relationships built that they want to keep cultivating it and use that to grow to the next level. I just think that it's hard for us right now to see the path for which this team is going to grow in those ways, right? What are you adding? How are you going to find the cap space to go out and get a player that makes this team better, that makes it worth bringing Vooch back if you're going to keep utilizing him the way that you're utilizing him, that makes it worth bringing DeMar back if you're going to utilize him the way that you're utilizing him? You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to find those things? I want to see this Bulls team get it right. It's just so hard right now, especially with the cap space situation, to see how they're going to figure out how to do that. And I miss the days when we just thought AK had contingency plan on contingency plan.
Hey, you remember that? That's what we were last season. Remember, we thought he was Batman. We thought he had a plan C for the plan B. That's just
he bamboozled us because he didn't even have plan A. It seems like
didn't even have plan A.
Lonzo was plan A, and Lonzo has plan me. So
Here's the question I'm going to ask you before we get out of this segment. How confident are you in Billy Donovan's willingness to adapt our scheme next season, to change it up some?
I don't think Billy has a problem changing the scheme. I think Billy has a problem changing the scheme in game when things happen. I've seen him adapt the scheme to kind of, if only one guy's available, if only two guys are available, right? And different things like that. We've seen him adapt it when Zach and them have been in or out of the lineup.
Well, that's
the
kind
problem
of out
is
of necessity, but I mean, like having fully healthy roster going into next season, but changing it to where he's utilizing the players that we have better. How confident are you in that? Because I agree with you. When Zach's out or DeMar's out, he does adapt pretty well. But like, I wouldn't say that I've seen, like, I don't think I've seen much change to the scheme.
Are we expecting Vooch to become our number 2 scorer all of a sudden? Like, I guess I would like that more game by game. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, if I know Vooch has a favorable matchup, I would like to see that more game by game than we did last season. But there's a lot of times where, like, this is the part that always irks me a little bit too. It's like when the change does happen and Vooch is taking, more shots, and it's the one day where Vooch is like 1 for 15 from the field, then it's not that Billy Donovan didn't go into him. It's just, oh, Vooch sucks. It's like, no, it's like, well, you got to be ready, stay ready. Like, there's so many things that have to go together. Like, I've seen Billy adapt his game plan. I've also seen it not work that day. So you gotta, it's a give and take to me. I don't know. To me,
you seem conflicted, young man.
it's one of those things where, like, I can see Billy adapting the game plan, but I don't see Billy. I've seen it not work more times than not. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like Vooch is surprised that he's the focal point in that mug, and he'll go like 1 for 6 in the first quarter.
Wait, you're giving me the ball again? Wait a second.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not used to this.
that's the hard part about it. That's the part that I'm stuck on. It's like, I can see the adjustment, but I don't see the success from the adjustment.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Next up, we're going to be talking about the trade rumors of the Bulls acquiring Jalen Green from Houston. But before we do that, we got to talk to you guys about one of our sponsors, and that is Game Time. Buying tickets to your favorite events should not be stressful. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. With killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you'll have. What are some of the things about the Game Time experience? Flash deals and last-minute tickets, easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area, images of seat views, lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, job loss protection, etc. Game Time is the place for last-minute ticket deals. Forget planning months in advance. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. Get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, and more. The Game Time guarantee means you always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right, Pat. Something that I feel like is going to happen a lot this offseason, and that is the Bulls being somehow linked to every trade that goes down. And in reading some of these, it's just like, oh, y'all not really in touch with where the Bulls are at all.
Yeah.
One of the more recent ones is Jalen Green being a potential target for the Chicago Bulls. And the thing that irritates me about this is that it said the Bulls could trade for a young star. Are we just throwing it? Is Jalen Green a star? Did I miss that? When did Jalen Green become a star?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to. I be tripping sometimes, so I have to make sure that I'm not tripping. That's it.
Everybody's a star. Everybody's a superstar. Everybody, y'all know. Like, listen, it's like, hey, have you accomplished anything in this league? Mud's just talking trash out here. Dylan Brooks got bad braids. It's a lot of stuff going on in the NBA right now.
Hey, does Dylan Brooks like request to go to prison to get his braids? Like, is there some big dude named I was about to come up with a name that's probably gonna get me fired.
Tough. I was about to be
but
tough.
does he
I saw
go?
the path.
You know me too well.
Saw the path. I was like, this ain't gonna be good. I'm gonna
Dylan
just
Brooks'
duck out
braids
of
are
this.
just always terrible, bro. Like it's people used to clown on Kawhi's braids and say Kawhi used to get his hair braided and then be like, now brush it. But Dylan Brooks is way worse than that.
Dylan Brooks got the braids of a dude that like used to be an extra in a Snoop Dogg video, but like early 2000s Snoop Dogg when he was going heavy with the vatos, you know what I mean? Like that Snoop Dogg. That's how Dylan Brooks' braids look. What the heck are we talking about in this segment?
Jalen Green, bro.
Oh, there we go. We just started frying this, man.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's a Jalen Green trade happening. I don't think I think that they want to try and get the most out of Jalen Green they can in Houston. Two, to me, Jalen Green for Zach LaVine is Zach LaVine for Jimmy Butler, is Jimmy Butler for like let's stop the process. Let's stop resetting stuff here in Chicago. To reset that, how about we build on something? We got a 26-year-old on our team right now that looks like he's getting confidence in his game, is attacking the bucket stronger. How about we get some more pieces on the team to help that guy be successful instead of trying to reset for this young superstar? Unless it's freaking Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, like Kawhi Leonard's not walking through that door. You know what I mean? Like there's no, oh my God, reset trade that's going to happen from making a trade with Houston, unless it's Alfred Sengun.
Oh, listen, if it's Sengun, if they're willing to offer Sengun, who do you want?
Not for Zach LaVine, though.
Oh, no, not Zach. No, you want to pair him with Zach, but almost anybody else. You
could have anybody else on this roster. I ain't gonna lie, P. Will included. You can have anybody else on this roster.
I'm not arguing with you on that at all.
P. Will, Marco, Kobe, Billy Donovan, the water boy, the tall water boy. Oh, that's Marco again.
That's Marco again.
Dang it.
The guy who sits in the front row that's always at every game with the afro, y'all can take him too. He's a great fan. You throw him in the trade package as well.
I was like, dang, we trading the fans, bro?
We trading the fans.
Trading the fans out there, bro? Jesus. Fans ain't safe. Here's the thing about Jalen Green, right? The thing that they've talked about with him that I don't want to deal with here because I feel like we've already dealt with it some here is he's just been allowed to have free reign. They're talking about him having to be more accountable, him having to be a leader, him having to take responsibility for his actions. Like, first off, what's he doing down there? I don't know if Ime Udoka is the coach that's going to come in and be the responsible for his actions guy out here. But what does Jalen Green do? He scores a lot of points.
But he scores a lot of points because he gets a lot of shots too. Like,
I mean, I think he's a good scorer, but like, what are we trading him for? Like, we just throwing trades out there at this point. So I'm out on the Jalen Green trade. I'm listening if there's an Alfred Sengun trade. That's about it.
See, my problem with Jalen Green is this. They called him a star. We've already talked about that. But Jalen Green has a usage rate of 28 and a true shooting percentage of 53, which is not good. That's not good as a true shooting percentage
at all.
He shoots 18 shots per game and hits that at a 41% clip. Basically, listen, no, I would rather just keep Kobe. And sometimes I think like people get in their mind, and this wasn't a fan thing or whatever, but like just if you just change something, you're doing something. And it's like, make the right changes. Making a move for Jalen Green right now does nothing for the Bulls, other than it gets us a little bit younger. Does nothing for the Bulls.
And that's what I've said, right? Like a lot of the changes that I want to see aren't just changes.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you're going to change, don't go. Here's the Bulls' problem. We go backwards. Listen, I wasn't a fan of Fred Hoiberg, but you got worse from Fred Hoiberg, who was a 42-win coach, to go to Jim Boylan. Oh, well, he had a worse team. Yeah, because he picked him. You know what I mean? Like, he was in the training room and looked at Marcus Teague and was like, that's the guy. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Like, it's asinine to think that it's okay for you to just continue to make mistakes on, okay, we're done with this guy, but then the guy you get to replace him is worse. We've done that with talent. Listen, I love what Zach LaVine has become. Zach LaVine is a worse basketball player than Jimmy Butler is right now.
I see. And
Jimmy's 34.
if they could have done the fusion dance to combine Chris Dunn and Zach LaVine, we would have been good.
I mean, listen, you couldn't even get the most out of Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn's still averaging 2 steals a game.
Bro.
You don't even have his real teeth no more.
I mean, yeah, because he dropped him trying to dunk a basket. Bro, that was one of the most crazy self-inflicted injuries I've ever seen in my life, bro. Like, and you felt it as he was swinging backwards. It was like, oh, this ain't about to be pretty at all.
Yeah, it was tough. I'll never forget that one. And then here comes Jeff Tanaka, like sauntering out there with like dragging his feet like they had pulled the boards up on the ice. Yeah, and so now he was out there on the Blackhawks ice trying to get out to him.
With Tanaka, it's like, hey, Chris Dunn went down because he popped 3 teeth out of his mouth. Somehow he flatlined back there. Yeah, because Tanaka was involved.
Oh God, it's been bad here, bro. We've got a lot of issues on this team, man. Yeah, but I don't know, bro. Like, it's not a move that moves you forward to me, and I think the Bulls have too many of those moves already. At least here's our beef with last season. Our beef with last season is that the season before we took such a step forward that last season was a step back.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get back to what you did 2 seasons ago, but you're still trying to step forward. It's
we not getting nowhere, bro. It's so depressing being a Bulls fan. I'm a Bulls and a White Sox fan, bro. The fact that I'm not on suicide watch is crazy.
I mean, so am I.
It's tough.
It's tough out here.
It's tough.
It's tough out here,
man. All right, bro.
Oh man, hey. Before we get to the final topic, well, we got to tell you about something good going on around Chicago, man. Shout out to Joakim Noah. We do got to tell you guys about Prize Picks, man. Prize Picks has the new $1 million super flex promotion going on every day of the NBA playoffs or finals. One Prize Pick user will win a chance of becoming a millionaire. One entry placed after 8 a.m. Eastern time will randomly be selected each day. Whoever placed that entry will be given a 6-pick flex with the following payouts: 6 correct picks, you win $1 million. 5 correct picks, 80,000. 4 correct picks, 16,000. You can find the full details at prizepicks.com/$1 million. You must opt in at the links eligible for the $1 million entry. And once you opt in, all you have to do is play the game like normal, and you could be the lucky winner. That's the thing about Prize Picks. All you got to do is pick 2 to 6 players, and you can win up to 25 times your money at any entry. No competing against other people. It's just you versus projections. Available Prize Picks offers projections on every sport. That includes NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, PGA, college football, men's college basketball, women's college basketball, soccer, WNBA, all the way down to Euro basketball and cricket. We throwing some bets in on cricket out here. What's going on?
Hey,
Interest can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's that easy. Safe and fast withdrawals currently operational in over 30 states and Canada. Download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com to sign up to play daily fantasy sports. First-time users can receive a $100 instant deposit match up to $100 with the promo code Locked On. If you deposit $100, Prize Picks will give you $100. If you deposit $50, Prize Picks will give you $50. Don't forget to enter the promo code Locked On and sign up for an instant deposit match up to $100.
All right. So before we wrap up today, we got to talk about a player that I like. Is he at this point? He's the son of the city. He always finds a way to give back. He's literally done it since he, came to Chicago originally, and that's Joakim Noah, starting the One City Basketball League. Now he's pairing with 28 violence prevention groups to launch this league in Chicago. How you feeling about Joakim Noah still giving back to the city, brother?
Joakim's awesome, man. Joakim is, can we give him the nickname Mr. Bull? I mean, it's Jerry Sloan, ain't it?
I mean, hey, listen, nicknames
are
kind
of Mr. Bull, bro. Yeah, he's really kind of Mr. Bull, bro. Really there's nobody that's doing more. He's an ambassador for the team. He's always working with the community, loves to be a part of this community, loves the city of Chicago, rides for this team harder than anybody. He's the person that how they gave Brandon Jennings a ring when the Bucks won. If the Chicago Bulls ever get the championship 7, Joakim Noah gets a ring.
Oh, for sure.
I don't even. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know if Derrick Rose gets a ring, but Joakim Noah gets a ring. That's how
D Rose.
I don't know. You know what I mean? He's still a part of he's still a part of the organization. Technically, I guess he would get a ring automatically because of that anyway. But I just Joakim really has taken on this city and made it his home and made the people in this city a part of it. He's always been big on trying to do different things with preventing violence in the city, preventing gun violence, really getting people to just come together and try to show peace and love and stuff like that. Joakim's just, man, he's just a good dude. He's just a good, come on now, now that we're in the the post weed being legal era, you just want to roll up one with Joe, don't you? It's just Joe. You want to have a beer with Joe? It's Joe.
Hey, bro, I would love to have a beer with Joe.
Joe looked like he'd throw a beer back real quick, bro.
He'd be six-pack real quick, bro. That's a big human. But yeah, bro. Here's the thing that I want to ask you. With Joe, I always said that I don't see Joakim Noah getting into coaching or anything. But as he gets older, could you ever see Joakim Noah getting into coaching? Not head coaching, but maybe being an assistant.
I don't know. I can't see Joe. What would Joe really be like? I guess the heart and the hustle part. I don't know. That would be weird. I can't see Joe as a coach now.
You can't see Joe as
I
a
just
coach?
can't. It feels weird to think of Joakim Noah sitting there trying to teach somebody on the court. I feel like Joakim Noah got to teach somebody heart.
Because the moment somebody comes in, like Luis, Lou Rob, he would literally frustrate the hell out of Joakim Noah. A player like that.
We going to the white side. Hey, listen, if we go cross sport, let's do it. Yeah, hey, Joe, I need Joe on the White Sox. Forget the Bulls, man. They'll survive. I need some heart on this White Sox team, bro.
Bro, this Sox team, man. I'm sorry. That's just on my spirit even more than the Bulls right now because it's just so
bad. It's so bad.
It's bad,
hey, one in a row, bro.
I clap it up. I can go ahead and clap it up.
We gotta hold up. Deep in the archives out there. Clap it up.
That's exactly how I felt after the White Sox win. Just clap it up.
Yeah, after they came back from another loss that they blew a lead on in the 8th inning. But anyway, Joakim Noah as a coach would be so strange. I feel like here's the thing though.
Mm-hmm.
So is Phil Jackson.
That is a very good point.
Could Joakim Noah be a little Zen master-ish out here? Phil was a weirdo as a coach.
Yeah. I mean, and I would think too, look at Sloan. Jerry Sloan was a bit of a hothead when he played. He turned into a pretty damn good coach.
Yeah. But I feel like Jerry Sloan, you always felt like Jerry Sloan was this master of the X's and O's.
This is true.
I don't know if I ever felt that way about Joe. I think Joe was, right? I think he had the ability to be, especially when they started using him as a point forward. But I don't think that he was this master of the X's and O's throughout his entire career. I don't know if there's this deep insight that Joe, I just feel like Joakim Noah is going to sit down, open up a book, light a couple of incense and be like,
incense?
Hey, definitely. Definitely. Just sit down, legs crossed.
Maybe he could be the team therapist, and it's all natural remedies.
He's sitting down, legs crossed as you come into practice, and he's just run.
Birkenstocks all day long. Just that's definitely Joe, bro. But no, all jokes aside, man, it's great to see Joe still give back to the community. And just his love for the city of Chicago, hearing him talk about this, you can just feel that love for the city that's still there. I know when he initially sold his home, which he had the same home from when he was a rookie until I think was that just 2020, 21 that he sold that home. Yeah. People were kind of
when he got married.
Yeah,
when he got married,
and then he accepted the job with being the official ambassador of the Bulls. Now I know he doesn't live here full time, but It just feels good, man, and especially a player that we really saw go from a player that I always tell the story. I can't remember who I wanted the Bulls to draft, but I did not want the Bulls to draft Joakim Noah. I was pissed when the Bulls drafted Joakim Noah, and he turned into my second favorite Bull of all time. Second favorite Bull of all time. So yeah, it's powerful, man. I'm glad that he's still in the community and giving back to the community. Also,
that suit was bad.
Yeah, that suit was terrible.
That suit was bad. Hey, no matter how good of a career he could have, that suit was bad, bro. Yeah, that suit, never mind. That was about to be a tough joke. All right, man, let's get the heck up out of here. Hey, man, follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. Me and Haize just trying not to get canceled this offseason.
That's our biggest hope right now. We're just trying to maintain so that we don't get canceled, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can follow me at CEO Haize, at CEO Haize. And thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen every day. Now, every day is tomorrow. We're going to be on the show talking more Bulls topics and content every day. Even during the offseason, we will be here every single day. So again, for Pat the Designer, I'm Haize. This is Locked On Bulls. Pray for us because we're also Sox fans. It's tough out here for us, but we love you guys, man. Peace, y'all.
Peace. Man said every day like it was a prison sentence. One right after the mother another. And I ain't missed the day.